Hello Leo gang, what's up? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name's Annie. We're going to read your tarot cards. Got some weird lighting if I lean into the sun, so we're just going to roll with it. Move my little board back here. Alright guys, hope you're doing well. This will be a general tarot reading geared more towards my Leo risings, but of course Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus signs, you're welcome to join. Anyone is welcome to join this reading. Highly recommend you do check out your rising sign as well. Come into this reading with an open heart, an open mind, a positive vibe. If it's not your message, simply click off, check back next week. Something may resonate then. I want you to walk away from this feeling motivated, empowered, inspired, being able to see something from a different perspective. Those are all good reactions to a tarot reading. If you're feeling the opposite, again, maybe assume it's going out to someone else, or at least just stick it on your shelf, think about it, but maybe not act on it yet. All right, here we go. I hope that didn't confuse you all. And my deck's upside down. I'm just going to read that individually. The Wheel of Fortune upside down. I actually do like this. Typically when things are upside down, for me as a reader, more than likely indicates that the potential is there, but it hasn't really come, it hasn't ripened yet, if you will. Or it's indicating there's something to come, but it's not quite here yet. So the fact that you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I personally wouldn't interpret this as, bad luck. I would interpret this as something's good coming in, but it's almost like there's something stuck in the wheel. It's like it's trying to rotate and it can't move forward. It's jammed. That's a really good word for this. There's something jammed. So maybe it's up to you to kind of change up the mix, change up the ingredients, do something a little bit differently in order to keep rolling ahead. I think that's important. The stagnation may actually be for a greater purpose. Anyway, I'm gonna stick that back in and see if it comes out again. I just didn't want to read all reversals. All right, Leo, I know. Here we go. Are you kidding me? Really? Really, with the upside down deck and the Ten of Cups reversed? I mean, that's good. Again, Ten of Cups we like. That's the Cinderella story. It's weddings and happiness and dreams coming true and manifestations coming into reality. I like that. Yeah, interesting. And then you have the Four of Wands. So I just going purely off of these depictions, of course this can be something other than marriage, but for a majority of my Leos, if you guys are at all thinking about weddings, talking about weddings, thinking about a partner in terms of could they be my long-term person, I mean, I would say there's huge potential for that so far. And it is coming up in your house of self-worth and self-value. So whether it's romantic or not, you may be connecting with people who really honor the truest version of yourself, loving yourself, warts and all, as they say. You may be around people right now and they bring a really positive vibe and they make you feel good about yourself and vice versa. You have a lot to offer this partnership. You have a lot to offer this friendship. I like that a lot. All right, thank God. We're in reverse. Here we go. The Lovers. Cool. Interesting. So is your mother a very prominent figure right now in your public life, in your social life, in your career, in something important that you would be doing outside of the home? Which is really interesting because we kind of associate the mother as being, home base in a sense, right? Kind of maternal Cancerian energy, the house, the home, that sort of thing. It's showing up actually in your 10th house, so that could be anything from your public reputation, your career. Okay, so some of you may be taking a back seat, or I'm sorry, let me say that again. Some of you may be taking a break from being a very public persona in the workplace if you are pregnant or if you are starting a family. There's themes and ideas of motherhood coming up through there. Coming up through that birth canal, I don't know. Some of you may literally work with expecting mothers, right? With the Queen of Cups and the Empress, this has like maternity mama vibes all over it. And I would challenge you to look at that in a more broader, general sense too of, is what you do very nurturing, do you nurture people? Is the nature of your work or your career, is it almost something that you could view in a more maternal-like lens, right? Do you understand what I mean? There's something very feminine, something very gentle and soft, and again, like nourishing, mother's milk, right? That kind of thing. Especially careers and healing, right? Both of these have very strong healer vibes. So, hey, it's coming up in your 10th house, and they're good cards. So whatever this is, I mean, I'm not sure it's coming in immediately, but again, it might be plans you're making for the future. Some of you may be figuring out how to help your mother with something very important. Maybe you're going to end up working with your mother or for your mother, or, fill in the blank. I don't know why that's coming up so strongly, but it is. So I just kind of went down that rabbit hole. In a more general sense, let's zoom out and kind of talk about money. So Leo, again, specifically Leo rising, but this may resonate for others of you too. You have many planets right now traveling through your second house, again, of self-worth, as well as money and value, things you do to earn a living for yourself. You have Mercury, planet of communication, technology, thoughts, ideas, writing, all that good stuff. Mars, the planet of action, assertion, pioneering spirit, sexuality. And you also have planet Venus, of course, love, partnership, and money, too. Venus is very tied to money and luxury items, if you will. Those three planets traveling through that second house is putting a lot of focus there. Now, we have to remember some of those planets are probably duking it out for a little bit of attention. However, I would say the result of that, it may feel, I'll even say it may feel a little bit stressful. There's a lot of focus there, but it's not all fun and games. That being said, you're establishing a very solid foundation for yourself, from which you can grow into the future. So I would say now's a really good time to put in that energy. This is all happening in your second house of Virgo, and the sun will be joining those planets in the next week or so. As right now it's Leo season, aka the sun is in Leo. When the sun moves into Virgo, it will be Virgo season, even more emphasis on your money. Happy birthday, by the way. Maybe this 10 of Cups showing up in your first house is just feeling great. With that extra focus and attention on my Leo gang, yes, because it's your birthday, but maybe for other things too. Maybe there's big things going on in your family. I will say this, now that I've studied astrology a little bit longer, I frequently notice that, when we do bonus tarot readings for the birthday, we want that to be extra super fun and special and, great because it's our birthday season, right? However, with that, when the sun is in any area or any zodiac sign, the sun is actually in astrology what we call like a malefic planet, meaning it's a tricky energy. The sun provides warmth, right? But it can also burn you, right? It can give you a sunburn. So in metaphor, what I'm saying is having the sun in Leo, yes, it's your birthday season and that's great. And some beautiful things may come from that. But it's also going to challenge you. And why? Because the sun has made its way around, right? It's your solar return. So with that, you're expected to grow and show up and implement new lessons that you learned from the year prior, right? So in a way, it's like the sun coming back around for your birthday. It's asking you to step up and grow a little bit more. And I guess I found that to be very interesting because whenever I did birthday readings, it would be like, why are these so difficult? Like I'm trying to give, a fun birthday reading and the messages are heavy. That is consistent for every zodiac sign that I personally do. I don't know if that's true for other tarot readers, but I'm just sharing that tidbit of information. So I guess what I'm getting at is if the last month or so has been crazy for you and you're just like, oh my God, okay, well, astrology confirms that to me, so it will get better, right? The only constant is change. But I would say even more so if you've been struggling as a sun sign Leo, or for my Leo risings, particularly with your identity, with who you are and what you want to be or who you thought you were and what you're trying to become, all these kind of ideas of ego and the self. It can be a tricky time, so know that I think it's going to get better, especially when, I would say this to any zodiac sign, but particularly you with all these planets placed here, know that your value and worth as a human being does not need to be tied to how much money is in your bank account or what other people think of you. That is a mindset that only you determine, right? No one else. You decide, how much value you have in this life, and I would hope that you think you have a whole lot. But if you don't, you're human. That may be an issue that the universe is trying to get you to see and to simply work on and heal. Some of you may be connecting with a Taurus, business-wise or romantically. Yeah, Taurus, a Libra, maybe a Cancer. There's I think it might be a romantic connection where it's almost like someone's mother has passed or someone's mother is no longer in the equation, but their spirit is still around you. And I don't predict death on my channel. This would be like for some of my Leos or your potential spouse. Someone grew up without a mother. And it's not to say that you guys fill that void for each other in an unhealthy way, but it's like that That sense of nurturing and love that they wanted so badly as a child, they found it in you in a healthy way, right? So it makes this a really, it's like divinely guided pairing. There's just some message about your mother looking out for you, or your grandmother, you know, some kind of divine feminine spirit. Maybe it's just a spirit guide. I don't know. You guys may be saving your money for a wedding. One of your children could be getting married. A parental figure could be getting remarried. A Gemini might be involved in that. You may be celebrating some milestone in your career as well. Maybe you're celebrating a work anniversary, or you get some sort of promotion. If you do get a promotion, it seems like there is, and only if that makes sense, right? I'm not saying that would just come out of nowhere, but if that's something you resonate with, it's almost like there's a tag team. It's done in tandem. So I don't know if two people, it's almost like they split a role into two people because they see you guys as being valuable, not competitors, co-workers, team members, teammates. And I don't know how you feel about that. You know, for some of you, you may, the thing is, I don't think there's any bad feelings towards this person, but you may have just thought, okay, it's my time to shine, but you're being asked to like share the mic. Know that this is for a greater reason. There's twos. I have twos in every card here regarding your career. So there could be a fantastic collaboration. So watch where your mind goes in terms of putting negative or bad energy on this before you even know what it is. There's a fantastic opportunity for collaboration, especially between two females, but it doesn't have to be. And it might be something in sales or technology. Or animals, doing something, working like with animals. And if this isn't a long-term thing, there may be a business opportunity where you get to collaborate as like part of a short-term gig or a short-term deal or something. Two very strong female energies coming together, and it looks awesome. I don't know what to say to you other than this looks like a really strong, beautiful pairing, and should you want to work with this person and collaborate them with them in the future, you guys may be establishing the foundation of a friendship or a partnership now, but it could potentially span well into the future. It's almost like two entrepreneurs kind of feeding off of each other, if that makes any sense. All right, in terms of your love life, you have six of coins, reciprocity. I don't hate that. I'm hearing if you love something, set it free. So you may be at a crossroads with some person. Yeah, I sense that there's a bittersweet ending here. It's bitter because I don't think you guys want it to end. I think there's something that's come in between you that was unforeseen by both parties. I don't think for most of you this has anything to do with third party stuff. It feels like someone is being pulled away from the partnership to take care of responsibilities elsewhere. This person has work that is very necessary for it to be done, you know, back in their hometown with their parents, you know, to take that new job in the city. There's something about, again, the idea if you love something, set it free. If this is as strong a connection as you guys both think it is, you will find a way to make it work. And again, I'm not here to judge or criticize. Some of you are assuming that because this has to come to an end or be put on pause, you're going to this extremist all or nothing. Well, that's it, fine. You know, I just, almost as like a way to hide your vulnerabilities. If I don't want this to end, but I feel silly trying to make a long distance relationship work. I'm just saying, I think if you wanted it to, there's potential for that to happen here. Especially with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a Virgo. They seem to be in it too, but again, I don't think this is by anyone's choice that there's a distance in the relationship, and it could be temporary, right? It could be temporary for all my Leos out there even thinking that it's permanent. Like, life has a funny way of throwing you curveballs when you least expect it, and sometimes those are good surprises, right? I mean, we did start off with the damn Wheel of Fortune and 10 of Cups, and they're in reverse. See, that's sort of what I mean. Like, there's more to be revealed here, and you have to do what is appropriate for you and where you are at and the type of emotional intelligence you're able to practice with this person. If being at a distance from them but having to check in every night as if you are a couple is going to not be good for your mental health, then good. You do need to, you know, sever it in a very clean way. It doesn't mean there has to be nasty emotions involved. But I don't know. A part of me wants to say that you guys may choose to kind of roll the dice and gamble trying a long distance relationship. I don't think it will be easy, but for a lot of you, I think it's going to prove to you something about yourself that you didn't know you were capable of. Or I think this is it. It's going to restore your faith in partnership, in not having to do everything on your own, in feeling like, again, reciprocity, that what you bring to the table can be matched and should be matched and will be matched by the person who is truly meant for you, right? And I know not all of you are necessarily looking for long-term commitments, but again, at minimum, it's a two-way street. You guys have to meet each other in the middle. So if you're willing to put in the effort, then I wouldn't assume that they're not. But it goes the other way too. If someone is approaching you with sort of this unwritten contract, if you will, of let's try long distance, and you know that you're not capable of doing that, then you owe this person your honesty, your integrity, to be I'm just not there, you know? Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I feel like that message sounded really heavy, but I actually don't think it is. I think this may be something that is growing over time, and you may be being asked to practice patience. You may have met this person at a place of work. Or at the time you met them, they may have been dating someone, dating like one of their coworkers. But the thing is, I'm not sure if that's even in the picture. And that would not be a surprise. Like, that's not a secret. Like, you may have all worked at the same office, and at the time they were dating that girl, but now they're like, and maybe you guys ended up dating, or maybe you thought that's where it was headed, and then they got pulled away to go on some other opportunity. Do you understand what I mean? There's some connection where at one point in time they weren't romantically available, or that could have been you. And it's almost like the timing of this is incredibly frustrating, because it seems like just as someone became free or able to pursue something romantically with you and not be, cheating or anything like that, it seemed like they were pulled away for a greater purpose. Somebody is going to be appearing in a, this is a dumb way of putting it. Somebody is being asked to either officiate a wedding or to be in a wedding party. I don't necessarily know if that's related to this story. Maybe it is. I just got that random message. I don't know if you're like a bridesmaid or a, what do you call it? A groomsman, or I don't know, whatever that is. Somebody's appearing in a wedding. I don't know. What is reciprocity? Yeah, you have a choice. And this is certainly not the only message in dating, but it's the one that's kind of speaking to me the loudest. You have a choice. You're going to have to be an excellent communicator and a good advocate for yourself for what you want and what you need from this relationship. You can only ask for it. It doesn't mean it's going to be given to you or that it's owed to you. But again, setting up, I hate to call it like terms and conditions. That takes all the romance out of it. But more or less, especially in long term, there needs to be very clearly defined lines of what this is and how you're going to do it. Or your other alternative is to simply cut it, to sever the connection. Now, you can still do that in a way that doesn't burn any bridges. I think that's really important. That's a big message here. Even though you might not realize it, if there are feelings here, even though it might be tricky right now, I wouldn't assume that this is never going to circle back around in your life again, because it might. It very likely might. In fact, you may be invited to visit this person who's moving long distance or something. But you don't want to. You seem to be very, like, I'm going to say, like, kind of heartbroken about this. Like, it really, it left a wound. Ooh. Just give me a second here. And some of you, everything I said still stands. For some of you, that will make sense. In the meantime, though, you may actually have another romantic connection that comes in. Damn. I was about to say, damn, it's good to be Leo right now, but I know you guys wouldn't agree with me because this is a real source of agony or pain or struggle for you. But it's almost like, I don't know if you're invited to a wedding or appearing in a wedding or something about, like, yeah, whatever. You may meet someone at that wedding, or there may be some connection to a friend where romance just like kind of finds you and it's really smooth and easy. And again, I'm not even sure you were expecting it. So that's what I mean. Like, this is not a dead end. This is not like the universe has abandoned you and you've been forgotten. I guarantee you, Leo, there's some sort of message or lesson tied to this. So be open to receiving those lessons from the universe so that you can proceed in a healthy way from here. What is this Eight of Wands? A mutual friend who is a fire sign. There may be some connection to that or their mother. In terms of what, though? Like, I don't... Work? I don't know what that is. Leo, this is all over the place. Some of you may be getting out of a long-term marriage or going through like a divorce. I could see that as well. In which case, again, for some of you, there may not be that sentimental connection or the bittersweet thing. It might just be, the struggle of how do I navigate this because this is the father of my children. Like, it could be something like that. Now's a good time to put extra love and attention into your home, into your house, into a space that is energetically friendly and makes you feel good and warm. Working on things in your little space. Make it your own. And I think it has to do with, like, again, whether it's literal and metaphor, setting up some sort of foundation so that you can grow from there. Because some of you, it feels like you lost your footing a little bit, and you will get it back in time. Something has not come into you yet, and ironically, it's going to come in very swift and fast, so there's a need for you to be ready for it. That may involve a King of Wands. You may have a good friend who's a fire sign who may come in with some sort of big offer, but you would have no idea about what this is yet. Again, it could be romantic. It could be a business project. I don't know. It's going to come in swift and fast, though, and so there's a need for you to be ready to accept new opportunities and to work through the ones that you're trying to graciously let go of. There's something here that's kind of argumentative, too, though. Like this, I don't mind the Queen of Swords, but just to be very transparent, she's pretty blunt. She's straight to the facts, right? Like, what do you got for me? She's all about the intelligence, the words, the speech, the communication. She doesn't play hard to get. She wants what is true, what is fair, what is just. With that, though, can sometimes come like a little bit of like a cold, bitchy, sterile energy, if you will. And that seems to be coming in kind of fast. I don't know what that is. And that's not always the Queen of Swords. It totally depends what's around her, but I don't know. Why are you showing me this? What can we prepare Leo with? The Five of Swords. I don't know. Infidelities? I don't know what this is. Usually she's my Queen of Divorce or contracts, right? Depending on which way you're headed. Difficult news coming in about mistakes or about indiscretions I'm hearing. Careless mistakes or something you needed to go back and fix, but you feel like you can't. I feel like there is definitely a message here of like, be careful what you say, especially in the heat of the moment. There's grace and forgiveness. I'm hearing that. Or at minimum, the idea of not burning bridges. It doesn't even mean that you're hoping that someday, you guys will find your way back to each other. I mean, you can do that. I'm not here to say no. It more has to do with releasing something. Again, if you love something, set it free. Whether you love it or not, it's like, set it free with good intentions rather than sort of like a nastiness to this. So there is a full moon happening in Aquarius, which is in your 7th house of long-term partnerships and contracts. So something in that area of your life is coming to a final culmination. It's not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily good. For a lot of you, I can see a long-term partnership coming to an end, especially by means of divorce, which in theory, I think you would already know about. you, there's a new business opportunity, but I don't think it comes in before something else ends. I hope that makes sense, but it's like going off of your faith that if the universe takes something away from you, it's probably because it was never meant to be yours, but they're trying to align you to a place where there's better success. That's what I mean. If something comes to a close, rather than fighting it tooth and nail, again, like release. Set it free. Don't make it your burden. Don't make it an unnecessarily struggle of calculating how to keep it in your life or what to do or say to get to like spin the odds in your favor. The odds are in your favor, and the universe is trying to sort of leave the breadcrumb trail for you to follow. Like path of least resistance is very big here. There's so many kind of muddled messages. I don't want to go in too deep and confuse you all. And like, again, that's sort of the trouble with these is I'm trying to get specific, but not too specific because they are general readings. Let me just kind of wrap this up and give you a couple more highlights. Yeah, I do feel like, okay, this has been a repeated message. So maybe this is happening in both areas of your life, but you either let go of a relationship to make room for another one that comes into you, even if you don't know what that other one is yet, or again, it has to do with a job. And maybe it's not letting go of an entire job. Maybe it's your boss has taken a certain responsibility away from you, or they've brought on someone else to help you with that, and there's a little bit of, like upset feelings. It's aligning you to something greater. Some of you are good. If your dream is to work from home, that seems to be aligning for you. And for some of you, that won't be your dream. I'm just saying. The irony is you have so many great cards. It's the order in which they came out with that. There were definitely a little bit of like clunky energies. But for some of you, though, if you're watching this, I mean, I probably lost you by now if you're not relating to any of the material. But if you're still in this and you're in a healthy relationship, for those interested in marriage and weddings and moving in with your sweetheart, I see that here too. Maybe it's just taking longer to align and the universe is just simply asking you to have faith. Maybe you feel like you've missed out on your opportunity to do something. And so this is so perfect. It's like you're ready to just cut it and sever it in this like, almost like this very, fuck it, nothing ever works out for me. And it's like, it's right there. Like, don't call it quits just yet on something that is still providing you with happiness and faith that something will come out of it. I don't necessarily mean holding on to a relationship out of codependency. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, if you've been busting your ass to make your dreams come true on your whatever, business or this or that, and you're like, I've been running the race for so long, like, am I ever going to see the reward? Yes, you are. You need to be patient and you need to have faith. You need to not self-sabotage, and you don't need to jump to conclusions that everybody is out to get you. It's not that, and I do sense a little bit of that in your reading, Leo. There could be news of twins or something about I don't know, somebody may be giving birth to like twin babies, someone in your family. I'm not sure what that is. Sometimes I think the universe just throws those at me in these readings to like get confirmations out of you all watching, like, oh, that could be, you know what I mean? I'm not sure why that's significant, but, and you do have something with Geminis too, so if it's not literal twins, it could be something with about, especially a coworker who's a Gemini. I don't know. All right, Leo, I'm just as confused as you, but I hope that helps some of you. Let me know in the comments below if any of this resonates. Remember to like the video, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will hopefully see you very soon for more tarot. And if you were part of my loyal soul tribe, thank you. Thank you for your patience while I took my little YouTube hiatus. I'm hoping to be back more consistently, but I don't want to make promises I can't keep. But hopefully I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, Leo, and happy birthday.